Check, check, check. Check, check, check. I think we're working. I'm always having trouble with the audio, man. The audio is I still got to work out the audio. Let's go sit down at our webcam. Oh man. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to my experimental stream. So tonight we're in my living room, and I'm gonna build some stuff. We're gonna build some things for my IRL CAM project. The IRL CAM project is I'm taking my Nikon Z6, a decent quality DSLR, but you could use any DSLR or any camera really that has a video output. And then I'm going to connect that to a tiny little computer that I can carry in a shoulder bag or on my belt or something, and a battery pack, and so that I can run OBS with all my layers and all my scenes, but on a portable system that I can walk around outdoors with, go to restaurants, go to the beach, go to parks, go to any number of places. And I gotta reset the lot of little technical issues tonight. Yeah, I'm using just a cheap little, for this experiment, I'm just using a $29 webcam that I got at Target. My main webcam is upstairs. My main computer's upstairs. The computer I usually stream from is upstairs, that I play Elden Ring on and all that kind of stuff. So tonight, this is just a little experiment. Let me fix this. I think this is good. Okay, let's go back over here and see if I got my manual webcam settings on. Okay, that's what I want. Okay, so I basically took it off of automatic. So, okay, so here's what's going on. We're sitting in my living room, and I have this tiny little computer that is, it's like 4 inches square by like an inch tall. It's a tiny little computer, and that is connected to my TV. I have a big screen TV like most people do in their living room, and so that is connected with an HDMI cable, and then I have my DSLR connected to it, and I'm gonna make some stuff. Now I usually build things right in the middle of my living room. I live in a townhouse, and I don't have a garage. I don't have any place to work on things other than right in the middle of my living room. So that's where I build everything. I build furniture here. I build drones. I build other electronic things. I just set up little temporary spaces in my living room, or I sit on the floor and I build stuff on the floor in my living room, and then I clean it up. I sweep it all up, clean it all up later, and that's what we're doing. Let me see if I can show you the scene here. Okay, so I have OBS on my big screen TV, and then I have my DSLR, and you'll notice that the DSLR has a bracket on the top for holding a phone, but I want to hold a little bit bigger monitor, so we're gonna make a bracket for this monitor that I'm going to show you in a minute. I got a bunch of stuff. On the floor that I'm going to use. I just pulled all this stuff out so I can just quickly get to it. For tonight's video, I got my saw out. I got a little, because we're going to cut some carbon fiber and hopefully not make a huge mess. So okay. So I've got where is it? I got a microphone up here on my hat. So this is a wireless microphone, and that's why I started a little late. This is a wireless microphone, and it's going, and the wire goes around the back. and it goes into a little battery pack, and then it transmits to my DSLR, and then the sound and video together go out the HDMI from my DSLR, and then it goes into a small USB capture card, and then a USB cable goes into the mini computer. Okay, let's switch to, and I have a wireless, whoops, I have a wireless trackpad, keyboard and trackpad to communicate with the little computer, the little mini computer, so I can change my scenes in OBS, and then we're gonna just switch to the DSLR. So here's the DSLR feed, and then I can switch back to me. And the reason I have a wireless mic on is so I can move around, and I don't have to have a cable tied to me, and I can go anywhere in the house, and you can still hear me at the same volume. And so hopefully that's going to continue to work. Now, one last thing before I go sit on the floor and build stuff with you guys, I want to stress one important thing. Now, I want to stress, whenever you're using power tools or your any kind of really tools where you're going to be chipping things and cutting things and anything, I want to stress the importance of safety glasses. Now, I would use the glasses that are on my hat. However, those are really dark, and we're inside in my living room, and so those would be better outside during the daylight when it's really bright out. I think I would have a little trouble with those tonight. So we're just wearing my regular safety glasses. These are nice. These are nice safety glasses, and they just go on like regular glasses. And so yeah, I just wanted to stress the safety if you guys want to do any of this stuff, because the whole reason for me streaming this is I want to share everything I'm doing, everything I'm learning. I want to share all of this with all of you guys. So I also want to stress the safety factor, because you really need to protect your eyes when you do these kind of things. So let me switch to, now this is OBS. And I actually updated it today. I think I'm 8.0.2. They just released an update. And this is running on this tiny little computer. This is running on this, and this little computer is running a full Windows 11, normal Windows 11. And I got the chat open in a, I tried it with the Chrome browser, and the Chrome browser actually uses a lot more CPU than the Edge browser. So I'm actually running the chat in the Edge browser tonight. I have never done that before. I had to log into my Twitch account and set that all up. But hopefully that's going to work, and I can just glance up at the big TV when you guys come in and want to ask me anything. So now I'm going to switch to the DSLR feed I can actually, before I do that, I can actually walk over here, and I can actually show you my desktop. Let me see. There we go. So there's my desktop. Yes, I'm still learning how to use this thing. I'm still learning how to use OBS. But there's what we're looking at. I can actually minimize this. And so you can see I got the chat over here in the Microsoft Edge. I got OBS. We're running, you can just go up here. We're running 28.0.2, just like I thought. I'm looking at wow, we were using a lot of CPU there for a minute. Interesting. I don't know why we're using so much CPU. Let's go back to, the thing. Let me go back to the And I'm going to transition this to the thing. All right, that's interesting. This is an experiment. You know, we're testing this out. I really don't know why we're using so much CPU right now. Yeah, that's weird. OBS is usually down around 20% CPU, and now we're up at 37% CPU, and which we're at 80% total CPU. That's not great. Let's see, I got the. Okay. I wonder. It's interesting. I want to see if this settles at all. Oh, is it because I got the... maybe it's because of the projector. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of weird. I'm usually not using this much CPU. This is the same setup I used to make the Greek salad. Let me switch back over to the webcam. I'm really not sure why the CPU rate is so high. I don't know if Microsoft's doing something in the background, or maybe it's because I'm connected to maybe the TV is, because I've never connected this to my TV before. Maybe the TV is using more CPU. We're just going to keep going. We're going to keep doing what we were going to do. Let me switch to the DSLR cam, and then I'm just going to try to make this work and hopefully not crash. Okay. Okay, we're sitting on the floor. Now this is a little touchscreen. This is a 10-inch touchscreen monitor that I got for my, this will be for the IRL cam. Now I tried a couple monitors and I really like this one. Actually, what I wanted to do is, I wanted to weigh it. The reason I wanted to weigh it is I wanted to compare it to the 5-inch. So let's reset the thing here. Okay. Turn it on. Okay. Let's see, let's move these little stands out of the way. And then let's see what this thing weighs. Okay. So it weighs 534 grams. Now actually, I gotta run upstairs, but I still got the wireless mic, so hopefully you guys can still hear me as I go upstairs. Previously, I had tried this, I had played around with this 5-inch monitor. I mean, not 5-inch, it's a 7-inch monitor. Yep. Yep. So, okay, we're back. We're back. All right. Now this is the monitor I tried first, and it works fine, but it's not really bright, and it has these, the case, let me see if I can do a focus here, close up. It might not focus that close. There we go. So it's got 4 layers of plexiglass to make the case, and there's screws that go. There's a screw on each corner that goes all the way through all 4 pieces, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird case, and then you have this exposed circuit board, and you've got. It's just not. It's not the kind of thing that I thought would be durable taken around outdoors. Now, what I wanted to do, so that's 533, 534. Let's see how much this weighs, just for comparison. It's lighter, it's 366. So it's quite a bit lighter, even with the plexiglass case. If I 3D printed a case for this, I could make a much lighter case than these 4 pieces of plexiglass. I could make a much lighter case for this, and this is quite a bit lighter. But the problem is it's not very bright. I don't think it would be visible enough outdoors. I don't think it would work outdoors. I don't know. Maybe I can get another 7-inch monitor that's the same form factor. That has this doesn't have any brightness adjustment. There's no way to adjust the brightness on this monitor. Whereas, let me put this over here. Whereas this monitor has a button on the top, right there, that you can adjust the brightness with. You can adjust the brightness in 10% increments. And then it goes back to 0 or 10, and then you can just keep hitting the button until you get the brightness that you want. It's very nice. Now, on the back, so let me see. So on the back are your connections. You've got a full-size HDMI port, and then you've got 2 different USB, micro USB ports. One is for power only, and one is for power and touch. So if your operating system supports touch, which Windows 11 does, then this one cable will power the monitor and provide the touch interface because it does work as a touch screen. Now, the problem with that is I'm not sure what kind of voltage this little computer is putting out, and if it's going to handle the needs of the USB capture card, the monitor, and a second webcam, and any other USB accessory I might want, like a dongle for a wireless keyboard or something if I don't want to use the touchscreen monitor. I'm just not sure how that's going to work out. So I might run a separate 5-volt power supply up to like a hub, like a little mini USB hub. I'm going to figure all that out though. So I'm measuring all the current that these different devices use and whatnot. So anyway, let's put the scale away. Power off. Okay, there we go. Put the scale away, and then what we're doing tonight, or we're going to try to do tonight, is, so I want to mount this on top of my camera. And normally, so on top of my camera right now, I have this little bracket like this. It's got a standard 1/4-20 thread. I can't see the, oh, it's got a standard 1/4-20 thread there, so you can just screw it onto any kind of adapter, and then it's got a spring-loaded thing, so you can just put your phone and it'll hold your phone, and you can like turn it. It'll turn sideways and all of that. So these things are cheap and they're pretty durable, and you can pick them up on Amazon for like just a couple bucks. So they're super handy. So what we're doing tonight is, I got another one of those, and I took this one apart. So I'm gonna use this bracket on my camera, and then I'm gonna take this piece and I'm going to attach it So what we're going to do is, let me see if I can zoom this in a little bit here. I don't know where I am. Okay. And then let's focus. Just make sure we're in focus. Okay. So I've got this bracket, and I want to put the bracket on here like that. So then it'll give it a threaded slot so that I could put it on a tripod, I could put it on a light stand, I could pretty much put it on anything. And I could epoxy glue this directly to the case, but I don't want to do that. What I want to do is I want to make a real lightweight little bracket that mounts. It came with these 4 mounting screws. Let me put this aside here so I don't drop things. So this came with these 4 mounting screws. So I want to make a little bracket to mount that piece we just saw onto the monitor. So what I did the other night is I made a template of the monitor. I don't think that's in focus. Let's see. There we go. So here's a template of the piece, and then so I got that, and then I got a piece of. I used to build a lot of drones, so I have a ton of carbon fiber just hanging out. I've got all kinds of different thicknesses and shapes of carbon fiber. I got carbon fiber tubing. I got this is pretty. It's flexible, but it's you're not going to break this. This is like stronger than steel, really. I mean, you could. This is like super. It's super strong, and it's also super light. I mean, it's like a piece of cardboard. And I found this piece, and this piece will be just about the right size, so that I can mount it on the monitor, on the back of the monitor, and then we can drill some holes and we can round the corners and stuff like that. But I need to cut it. I just need to make one cut. So we're going to do that. And this is why I have my safety goggles on, because we're going to go like this. So this is, let me zoom out here so we can see what we're doing. Let's go. Let's move the camera, tilt the camera up a little bit. Okay. So this is first of all, this is a Rockwell. It's like a mini table saw. It's really cool because it's very small and portable, and it's got all the things you would expect in a little mini table saw. You can adjust your thing here. Now in one of my drone videos where I was teaching people how to build drones, I gotta just look at this real close and line up the thing. I was showing people how to use this. So I have a video that I could link to you guys later. If you want to know how to build this thing. I mean, if you want to know like what model it is, and I made a couple little modifications to it so that it was better for cutting really thin materials like carbon fiber and really thin wood veneers. All right, so let's see. It's kind of loud. I don't know how loud this is going to be on camera, so sorry. Yeah, that was probably really loud. Sorry about that. All right, so we got a piece of carbon fiber. We're gonna push that out of the way. I use tape so that the line, the cutting line, is a lot easier to see, and it also keeps it keeps the thing from doing any little shattering. It's actually good for wood as well, so you don't splinter the wood. But see, I got a nice clean, well, you can't really see it, but I got a nice clean edge. So anyway, we're just gonna put that over there. Now I'm gonna get a sanding block. Put this over here. I'm gonna get a sanding block so we can round the corners. I don't want like sharp corners where you can cut yourself. Where's my sanding block? Sanding block, where are you? Got some, I mean, that should work. Okay, let's do the, all right. All right, so we've got, so I got a block of wood, and I got my sandpaper. So this is, so the live streaming is new to me, man. I've always done video editing where I you know, shot a bunch of footage and then did edits later and edited out stuff that I fucked up and all of that. Live streaming is so much harder, man. I mean, I like it a lot, but it presents its own challenges. It's definitely a challenge. You know, this is one of those things where, like, you know, no one's ever going to see this. I don't think. I mean, no one's going to be looking at these corners and going, "Oh man, those corners are so perfectly rounded." You know, but I don't know, man. I like to do things. I like the details, you know. Man, we're at like 100% CPU. We keep going up to 90, 93. Now maybe this is because I'm recording as well. Man, I don't know. We're just running it at close to 100% CPU. It's a little worrisome, but it's running, I guess. I mean, I guess it's working. I don't know. I just really don't know. Anyway, so we've got, I'm just gonna go lightly over the edges. And flip this over. Okay, so now we have, let's see, I got some paper towels here, hold on a second. All right, so put that over there. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, so we have a plate. We have a carbon fiber plate. And this carbon fiber plate is going to go, I'm going to put this here. Let's actually focus on the thing. Let's bring this down like that. I think that'll be good. Let's zoom out a tiny bit. No, out, Rob, out, zoom out. Let's focus on it. Okay. So we have our plate. Plate is going to mount just like that. And then this piece will mount on here. So basically what we're doing is we're making this. This is what we're making. This is the bracket. So this, we're gonna attach these two things together, and this will be the bracket, and then the bracket will attach to, and it won't be centered because these holes aren't in the center. If you notice, those holes are not in the center of the monitor. Those holes are actually to attach a Raspberry Pi computer, which I'm not using because the Raspberry Pi is not nearly as powerful as this little computer that I'm using now, and we can see that this little computer I'm using here, I'm at 87, 91, 87, 88% CPU, and I'm going up to 100% CPU sometimes. Now that's kind of, I'm not sure why it's doing that, and it might be because I'm connected to this 4K TV. And this is something that I should have checked before doing this tonight, because I've never really connected this tiny little computer to my 4K TV, so I don't know. But anyway, this is what we're doing. We're making this bracket, and then I think this is square. Where's my ruler? Where did I put my ruler? Oh, here it is. Okay, this is, I think I made it square. Where's my, let's see. This is, it's 120 millimeters by 117. Why did I do that? Okay, so it's going to be the narrow side. I think it's going to be the narrow side because I wanted the, yeah, so it's going to be this side. All right, so it's going to be, no problem. It's going to be like that. Yep, okay. So let's put this away so we don't break it. Let's see, okay. We're gonna drill some holes. So we're gonna, okay. I need a couple pieces of wood. Oh, let's see. I got a bunch of 2x4s under my couch, so I can just do this kind of stuff. All right. So these are nylon. These are nylon bolts. Now the cool thing about nylon bolts is they are automatically locking. Let's see if that's going to be. All right, so that's not long enough. How about this one? A little too long. What about this one? It's cutting it close. We can use the. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, we're gonna. Just wanted to show you my little. I have all these pretty well organized. I have a bunch of different. These are metric, because everything in the drone world is pretty much metric. But it's just I was building a lot of drone stuff for a while, and I was buying things in bulk. And I have a pretty good supply of all these tiny little parts, so you know, why not? Why not? Okay, so I got to match this up with a drill bit. Let's see. That's too small. Size is too small. Now, of course, my drill bits are all in inch, you know, they're not in millimeters. My drill bit set is not in millimeters, and all my bolts are in millimeters. It's just funny when you go to, you know, when you go to Home Depot and you need to buy a set of drill bits, they're going to be in inch sizes, you know, 5/32, 11/64, 1/8, 7/64. I mean, you know, it's going to be, okay, so we're going to use a, what is this, 1/8? Okay. All right, so, all right, the bolt, nut. Yeah, and I see a couple people in the chat. Feel free to ask questions. You know, I'm totally happy to take a break and answer any questions you guys have. I'm just we're just building stuff. This is how I, you know, I was going to do this anyway, and I figured, oh, why not live stream it now? I've got a. Okay, now I don't know if I'm going to eyeball this. Really, I'm really. There's no real. I don't. I'm just. There's no real need for precision here because I'm gonna epoxy glue this later on anyway. So. So we're just gonna. Okay. And then I want basically the same thing on. Sorry if my head's in the way. I got to see where I want to put the drill bit. Yeah, that's a little awkward, I know. Sorry. Okay. Ooh, that was kind of off. All right, well. Wow, that's off quite a bit. Well, okay. Yeah, I don't have a drill press, you know, so it's kind of but we're going to glue this. We're going to epoxy glue this, and the bolts are just to really keep it from sliding around after I epoxy glue it. So again, this doesn't have to be perfect. So there we got a, I don't know if you can see that, got a couple little holes there. Okay, so now we're gonna, and they're not exactly straight, but whatever. We're gonna I am roughing up the surface that we're going to glue. Because I want the epoxy to stick. You don't want shiny plastic. Shiny plastic is not good. Now, let me see if I can zoom in on the... Yeah, see the surface is nice and rough now, so we can... That'll have a good grab with the epoxy. So I might even do it a little more up by the upper side. So let's see, I'm gonna... All right. So then, let's see, where's our, want the short side, so that's the 117, okay, so it's gonna be here, and we're gonna, okay, let's see. Let's do, okay, let's do it this way. Let's put this piece there. All right. And we got the top line. Okay. All right, so that's where the top goes. And now we'll measure, so this is it's 118, so half of 118, half of 18 is 9, half of 100 is 50, so 59. So 59, let's see, 59 is going to be right there. So there's our center. All right, so we got it. And we got the center. So now that we got the center, okay, so I got this in place here. I'm just holding it in the center, and then I put some tape around where it goes. So now I have the place where we're gonna glue it. All right? So now I'm just gonna sand this area and not anywhere else. So now I can just go, let's move these off to the side. now we can, okay, so now we have that. Actually, I need to do the edges a little bit. Okay. All right. I don't know why I might. Let's move the camera. Let's turn the camera this way a little bit. Okay. That might make it a little easier. Okay. Let's see. And yes, I will definitely be vacuuming the living room floor later. Okay. Got our thing. So this is going to get glued on. Oops, I'm not in the camera. This is going to get glued on just like this. Okay. So now we're going to actually, we need to clean both of those parts. So I need to get some we're going to use some alcohol. All right. Oops. Check, 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 check. Okay. Sorry, I thought I disconnected my mic there for a second. Okay. Okay. Let's zoom out a little bit. So this is denatured alcohol. You don't. This is not alcohol that you drink. It's kind of like. It kind of smells like rubbing alcohol, but it's different. It's used for industrial purposes. And I'm just gonna, so this is, I'm getting rid of any little embedded, well, any grease, any pieces of little carbon fiber dust, because I want maximum adhesion of my epoxy. And you can have the best epoxy glue in the world, and if you have a thin layer of grease on the two things you're trying to glue, then it's not going to work. And I've done, one of my most popular videos on YouTube for some weird reason is where I did a test of different epoxies, different glues and epoxies on carbon fiber, because carbon fiber is really difficult to glue. Most glues generally do not stick to carbon fiber. It'll just peel right off. And I found a couple that work great. And that's on my YouTube channel. And it's so weird because it's one of my most popular videos. And I don't talk in it. It's all like I have some trance EDM playing, and I just kind of use my hands to just signal what's going on. And I don't know. Anyway, so we're going to put this aside, and we got some glue. Got a couple, I got a stirry stick. We got some glue. All right, so this glue, this is actually, you can get this anywhere, which is one of the reasons I like it, because the best epoxy for gluing carbon fiber is this aerospace grade 3M epoxy that you can only get online, and you can only get at very specific places, and it's very expensive, but they use it, NASA uses it on spacecraft. I mean, it's an amazing epoxy, but it's just super hard to work with. Whereas this stuff, you can get this stuff at any Home Depot, Lowe's, hardware stores, Ace Hardware. I mean, this stuff is easy to get. Now, this is not the regular JB Weld. This is JB Weld Clear Weld, and it is a different formula than the regular JB Weld. This dries, and it is still slightly flexible, and this stuff will stick to carbon fiber very well. The regular JB Weld will stick, but not as well as this stuff. This stuff is really good. I've been using this for years. I've never had any of my drones come apart, even on crashes. I've never had any drone parts. Parts will break before they would come apart from this glue. So I swear by this stuff. It's really good. Now, let's see if I can get the, okay. That should be plenty good. Let's put the cap back on. Okay. Let's put that over here. And we're gonna make sure this is all right. Whoops. Okay. Just gonna. This is a two-part epoxy, and you need to make sure it's mixed up really well. That's why I go to a craft store and I buy a whole box of these little stirry sticks, but they've got a square end, so it's good to scrape the glue off the surface and really get it mixed up well. And you really want to mix this stuff up for, like, you know, a minute. Now this has a 5-minute cure time, so this will cure pretty fast. But you do want to mix it up well. You don't want any unevenness in your mixture, because then it won't dry right. You want to really make sure that you have this mixed up really well. Okay, that's good. And then what I do is I wipe off the stick, because the stick has a little bit of stuff that's not fully mixed. So now that's my mixture, and now I can just kind of work this into all the little cracks and crevices of what we're gluing. And I'm just putting a really thin coat on here, but I'm getting it into all the places I want to get it, and I'm just working it in like really well. And then we're going to set that aside right there, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the piece of carbon fiber. I'm going to, sorry if I wasn't holding that at the right angle for you to see, but I'm just kind of working this around. So we're not going to have a whole lot of stuff gooing out. We will have a little, which is fine, but we're not going to have a whole big mess of extra glue oozing out the sides, because we just don't need all that extra glue. And now I'm going to just stick this on here. And then Now, what I probably want is a clamp. Let me go grab a clamp. Ugh. Okay, it's fine. Ugh. So I have a clamp. Here's a clamp. And we're just gonna clamp this thing. We are gonna put bolts in, but I'm gonna put those in later. I'm gonna put the bolts in after the glue is dried. So, we can put this over here. And let's see, what can I? Okay, so let's focus the camera on what we're doing here. Okay, so we got this clamped. It's clamped on there pretty good. And the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to get a couple Q-tips and I'm just going to remove the extra glue. Because I don't want glue interfering with the edge corner. That's fine. So I can just get rid of the, can't really see what I'm doing. Just using a Q-tip and I'm just kind of going across the thing there and I'm getting rid of extra glue. Because I don't want the glue to interfere with the screw holes or anything else, so we're just getting rid of the extra glue. Yep. And again, sorry if you can't see what I'm doing half the time because I don't have the camera focused on the thing, man. Sorry. All right. So there's our thing. Let's bring that in. Okay, and we're still running at 89, 97. Wow, we're killing the CPU, man. It's pretty crazy. Put the thing back on here. Yeah, man, that's just. Let me actually turn on the. I think I can turn on the CPU readout on the screen. There we go. All right, well, I'm going to go take the safety glasses off. And I'm going to go over and sit on the couch with my bottle of water because it's time for some water. Okay. So, yep, no problem. Yep. So when the glue dries, I'm just gonna, then I'm gonna drill through the holes that I already drilled in the plastic piece, and I'll drill through the carbon fiber, and then I'll run a couple of those bolts through from the back side coming out. Just for, like, I don't know, insurance. Basically, in case for whatever reason the glue decided to separate. I don't want to lose that monitor because the glue decided to separate. I have a couple. Those little nylon bolts will just act as extra little insurance to make sure that the glue doesn't separate. But they're super lightweight and they're super strong. They're nylon. People don't realize how strong those bolts are. They will shear in a crash, and that's one of the reasons I really like them for drones, because if I crashed, then the bolts would break, the nylon bolts would shear, and that would prevent the parts from breaking. So I'd rather have the drone come apart, but all the parts are intact and not broken, and then I can just replace the bolts. It's really a perfect scenario, and I've never had one of those bolts come loose or break in the air, and I have hundreds of hours flying all different drones, and so I mean, I had a lot of people argue with me about the bolts on forums. And I'm like, dude, have you actually gone out and tried them? No? Then shut the fuck up. I didn't say shut the fuck up because I try to be nice to people in forums, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, people will get on a forum who don't even have an hour of flight time on any drone that they've built from scratch, and they've never tried nylon bolts, and they'll sit there and they'll give me all the bullshit about how, oh, that's not your blah blah blah, and they'll quote all kinds of numbers and bullshit that they're making up, and I'm like, oh really? Yeah. Have you actually gone out and done it? No? Really? Then yeah, okay. Sorry, but yeah. I actually have experience crashing a lot of drones and building a lot of drones and hundreds of hours of flight time, and never had a failure of a nylon bolt in the air, and yet they've saved countless pieces of hardware on a crash because they broke on a hard impact. So yeah. Anyway. That was a nice little tangent I just went off on. So, yep. Now I have, this is, let me switch to, let me actually put the water up in here. Let's switch to the, oh, I don't know. I'll leave this up here for now. It's fine. What was I going to say? Oh, so this little PC, this is the first one. So I have a second one that I'm testing. Now this one, I like this one. It seems to work pretty well. and it's very small, and but it only has 8 gigs of RAM, and the RAM is soldered to the motherboard, so you can't do anything about that, and it's single channel. So whereas if you have dual channel, then it's going to be a little better for maybe an application like OBS, which is going to be using the GPU to process the video in real time. I tend to think that's going to be a better solution. So I don't know. I have a second computer, and it's not much bigger. It's also roughly 4.5 inches square, 4 inches square. I think it's closer to 4.5 inches, but whatever. But it's a little taller. It's like 1.5 inches tall instead of 1 inch tall, and it has 16 gigs of RAM. It has two 8 gig cards that you can replace, and I believe the RAM that's already installed in it is running in dual channel, so that's a good thing. And you can also, it also has an M.2 slot, so you can expand you can put in a second M.2 SSD. It has a lot of expansion. It has more. It has this one only has 3 USB 3 ports, and this other one has 4 USB 3 and has 1 USB-C port. This one has a single HDMI. The other one has dual HDMI. So I'm going to have to test it against this same setup to see if it will run better. Now I'm really I wonder if I don't know. I don't know if this thing is struggling to because it's connected to my 4K TV. I'm hesitant to. I could actually do an experiment. I need a power block for. Let me go get the power block. I'm actually going to try the. Well, actually, we could just get the other monitor. Let me just get the other monitor. So we're going upstairs. I'm just going to get my 17-inch Dell monitor. Let's see. I got HDMI. I need an HDMI. Okay. All right. We got that. We got that. We got that. Okay. Let's just try this. Let's do an experiment. So I was using this monitor when I did the Greek salad stream. And let's plug in, and everything else was pretty much the same. So let's see if, now I don't know if this is going to kill my stream, guys. So if it does, then I'll just, I don't know, I'll restart it or something. But let's see if, plug in the monitor. All right, so monitor has power. Move it over here. Okay, so we got monitor power. Now let's switch the, let's see if we can switch out the, all right. Oh my goodness, is this working? Okay. That's weird. Okay. Okay, that's, all right, we got that. Where's the, we got that. Turn this off. All right, so we got this. Oh man, okay, so that's fine. Where's my chat? Okay, there's my chat window. All right, no problem. Okay. Yes. All right. Sorry, not sorry. Let me switch back to okay. We're still at yeah, we're still at we're still at 80%, 82%, 84, 82, 80. Why is it doing that? I don't know. Let me kill the projector window. What processes do we have going here? OBS Studio is using well, what the heck? That was weird. Okay. Did I click something? Okay. All right, OBS Studio is using a lot of CPU. It's weird. So, let me switch to, let me record the desktop actually. Let me actually record the desktop because I want to record what's going on here. Let's do a transition over to the desktop. Oh, let's just do the transition. Okay, that's fine. And I can just put myself on the side. Okay. Okay. OBS Studio, according to Windows, is using 47% CPU, whereas the OBS window itself says it's only using 30%, 28, whatnot. So that's, there's a pretty big discrepancy there between what OBS says it's using and what, actually let me turn this off so that it's not in the conflicting with the thing. And then let's go back here. Okay, that's better. Now, okay. Okay, so there's a pretty big discrepancy between what Windows says OBS is using and what the OBS window says it's using. That's Kind of annoying. Now again, I just updated this. I just updated to 8.0.2, and I'm wondering if they did something. I'm wondering if this latest version had some kind of an impact on that situation, because I'm using a lot more CPU. I'm using twice the CPU that I was using before. Now, just in case it's due to studio mode, I'm going to turn off studio mode and let's see what it does. So now I'm in studio mode. Let's put the let's bring the task manager back forward. I'm sure the OBS log will be interesting to look at. I saw someone come in the chat. Sorry if you thought this was boring. You missed me cutting carbon fiber. We built some stuff in my living room. Anyway, let's see. Let's put back. Now we're at a pretty even. We're at a pretty even CPU here. Looking at the graph, and let's go back to studio mode and see what that does. Let's go to steampunk wide. We're no longer at close to 100% CPU, so that's good. So I'm thinking the 4K, hooking it up to the 4K TV might have been an issue. I'm not sure. Let's close. Let's close this browser. Well, that's interesting. Okay. What if we use the... what if we use the chat? Interesting. Well, yeah, that looks a lot more stable. Where's my... Interesting. So, all right. Well, that's pretty crazy. I mean, that's a lot better. Now we're back to a nice steady 60%. That's crazy. What if we do the, can we get the DSLR view here? Okay, now that jumped up a bit. That's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if... Oh, I think I just... Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so let me just explain that. So I had the so the DSLR output is 1920 by 1080. Now the capture card, I believe, producing an output of 1920 by 1080, although I'm not sure. It's a cheap capture card. It's like a $20 capture card. So it's not, there's no settings. I don't think there's any settings I can do. There's no software control. It just does it. And I like it because it's tiny and it's lightweight and it doesn't require external power. And I can just put it in line between the camera and the little mini computer. Now maybe I need to get something better. I'm not sure. But I just changed the output. So the I had it resized to let me make sure it's working. Oh, no, I can't see the, okay, actually I can just turn it. Yeah, it's working, it's live, okay, no problem. So I had the input set to, I can show you actually, let me go to, so I had the I had this set to, I had the resolution of the DSLR camera coming in, I had that set to 1920 by 1080. So OBS was scaling it in the scene, and I guess that was taking some additional CPU to scale it down in real time. So changing this here to the same size as the canvas seems to have reduced some CPU. Now I can't remember if and it's still live, okay, no problem. But I can't remember. I'd have to look back at my settings because I don't think that was an issue for my I don't think that was an issue with the Greek salad stream. So I don't really, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I have a lot more to learn about this, about doing this whole setup. So, not really sure. Let's do a transition. Let's do the. So I don't know. Let me get my. That's kind of weird. So that's weird. Let me go look at something. Okay. So the wireless mic is still going. We're we're coming up on 2 hours that's been running on 2 AA batteries, so that's a good sign. I just had trouble getting it to work in the beginning, and I'm not really sure what I did actually to make it work. So that I got to work on that. I got to figure out what I need to do to get that to work properly. I'm not really sure. A lot to learn here, a lot to learn. Anyway, that's the thing that, that's just a little bracket that I built tonight on stream in my living room. Yeah, we're back up to 80%. Back up to 80% CPU. Yeah, man, Chrome is using a lot of CPU. That's nuts. Yeah, Chrome, man, fuck. Oh, Chrome, what are you doing to me, Chrome? Let's close Chrome. I don't know, man. Really? Because that's like kind of weird. Why is this over here? It's weird. Really? It's just kind of odd. How'd this get moved over? What the fuck? Why? That's so weird. Okay. Really not sure what's going on with that. But, I wonder if, I could do a chat from my phone. Let's see. Okay, that was weird. All right. Oh, so it works. Okay, no problem. Okay, that's fine. All right, so that's working. Where's the... Interesting. Okay. All right, so all right, that's working. We're back to, That's interesting. So when I just switched to the webcam and overlay, I jumped up quite a bit. Well, a little bit. Let me do a transition. Let me see if I can move the. Let me see if I can move the monitor to another location where I can. Let me see if I can do something here. And we can. Let's see. Let's unplug this. Unplug this. Let's put this down here. Plug this HDMI cable back in. Put that on the floor like that. This, well, let's do this first. Don't have any accidents. That maybe, I don't know, man. Okay, let's do that. And then put the monitor over here. Subpar player, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I've been having kind of a rough experiment tonight. I mean, I'm still streaming, and I didn't crash, but I had a number of issues. So I'm doing a test with this little tiny PC, and I had it plugged in. So I'm down to my. First of all, I'm down to my living room. Let me see if I can. I'm down to my living room. So I'm just kind of, hey, how's it going? I'm down in my living room, and I had my, I had this little PC plugged into my, my 4K TV, which is now off. But the problem is, I think because it was a 4K TV, and this little computer was trying to run 4K resolution, it was trying to run Windows in 4K resolution, I think that it failed. It was my little tiny PC was running at 100% CPU, so like 90, between like 95 and 100% CPU, so it wasn't good. Right now we're at like 58. Right now we're back to 58, 60, 61. You know, I'm running because I'm running OBS. But now I went upstairs and I got my little Dell monitor. So I went upstairs and I got my little Dell monitor so I could run OBS and the chat. And I got the chat open, and I got my I'm watching I got Task Manager there open in the bottom left corner, so I can watch my CPU. So that's, and then I actually used my little mini. I used my mini table saw earlier to cut some carbon fiber, and then I made a little bracket. So let's see, I can zoom in on the bracket. Let's see if we're in focus. Okay. So now I used some epoxy. First of all, let's see if the epoxy is dry. So here's where I mixed the epoxy, and Whoops, let's move this out of the way. The stick is like, I can feel the epoxy's, it's not 100% cured, but it's dry enough that we can take off the clamp. So I have this, this is one of those cheap little cell phone holders that you can mount on a, it's got a threaded hole on the bottom, and you can mount it to a tripod or to a ring light or whatever, and it's just, you know, it's springy. It holds your cell phone, whatever. So I got a couple of those, and I took the bracket off of it. So I took it apart, and I got the bracket, and then I cut this piece of carbon fiber, and now we can take the tape off. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. So then now I have this little bracket. It's very lightweight, and it should be pretty sturdy. And what we're going to do with this bracket is I've got this 10-inch monitor. So I've got this 10-inch monitor. It's a touch screen, and this is going to mount on top of my camera, and it'll tilt and you know, turn and stuff. It's going to mount on top of my camera, and this will be the display for my IRL cam. And then the little computer that I'm using will go in like a shoulder bag, or I don't want to use a backpack. I either want to have it clipped to my waist, like on a belt clip, or I want to have it in like a shoulder bag or something. And then, you know, a couple cables will be connected up to my camera rig, but then I want this mounted on top of the camera, so I can, and it's a touch screen, so I can, like, you know, start things and, you know, manipulate OBS. And then on the back here it has, it came with these 4 mounting screws for mounting a Raspberry Pi, and that's why they're not in the center, because it's the way the Raspberry Pi is shaped. But anyway, so I made this this bracket's going to attach like this, because I didn't want to glue anything directly on here. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to drill the holes later. I've got a pattern on paper for doing that, so I'll do that later. I've got I made a pattern for cutting the holes, so I'll do that. That'll be fairly easy. So anyway, that's what we're doing. Got my little that was tonight's project. So that is what we did. Yeah, man, Subpar Player says that's pretty cool, making your own mounts. I'm excited to see what you do with all this. Yeah, man, thanks. I really want to, I mean, I like building all this stuff, but I also want to go out and film stuff. I want to go out and go to different places and, like, I don't know, interview people and just do just make some cool streams. You know, I could I don't know, I could go over to people's houses that are, I know people that do gaming, and they just do gaming all day, but they don't stream. So maybe I could, yeah, man on the street type stuff. Yeah, exactly. I could go over to people's houses that are gaming, and I can do a live stream from their house or something. I don't know. I could go to restaurants, and I mean, obviously, I'd set it up ahead of time with the restaurant, but I'd be like, hey, I'm gonna come in and let's do a live stream. Like, go back in your kitchen, and the chef can, show people how they make a certain dish or something, or I don't know if it's not secret, if it's not something they want to keep secret. But yeah. So I like this. I really like this 10-inch monitor that I got. It's really nice. It has a nice display. It has a nice touchscreen. So I'm going to mount that. I'm going to mount that on top of my camera. It should be pretty cool. Sub says, I'd be down for food streams. Yes, I think, yeah, and I'm not a chef. I mean, I can make some stuff. I can make a few things. I've learned, I had a roommate that was a chef, and she was amazing, and she taught me how to make some stuff. So I learned how to make a few things, but I'm not a chef. So this goes in, where's the knob? So these brackets actually have a, I think this is the, yeah. So these actually work like this. So this will go here, like that. And then this goes on here. And like, you could have it sideways. Oh, that's not the right one. Okay, I got the wrong. Anyway, that's how this works though. This also has you could mount this directly on a tripod using the screw mount, but this piece also has a threaded mount, and if you wanted it to go at an angle, this goes on here, but then it can also go at an angle. It'll lock in like, I don't know, 15-degree increments or whatever. It'll lock at different things, and then it has a screw thing that locks it in place. So that's how that works. It's weird. So anyway, what's going on, man? Did you have a good stream earlier? Sorry I couldn't stay and watch your stream. I was setting up my living room with a ton of crap. I'm trying to get this thing to work. But it was pretty sweet. Don't worry about it. No, man, I always like to know how everyone's stream's doing. Just gonna, I'm gonna probably end this stream just drunkenly yelling at aliens. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. I mean, it's Friday night. I'm probably gonna end this stream pretty soon. Where's my keyboard? Let's go back to, so So I have a little wireless keyboard, and I can switch the. Let me switch back to the. Let's switch back to the thing. There we go. So that's my deal. So probably gonna end this in a minute. But thanks for stopping in. I had a couple people stop in earlier, but they didn't say anything in the chat. I think they might have been confused. I think they might have come in and they were like, "What the heck's going on here?" So yeah, but I don't know. So let's see. No problem. LOL, lurkers are a good thing. Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. Cool. So, I think, let's see what you said. Most of my viewers are lurkers. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. When I go into someone's stream, I always like to say hi. I don't know, that's just me. I just like to say hi. So do you want to? So my friend is doing a 24-hour stream. I think she's going to try to do a 24-hour stream. She started a few hours ago, so she's pretty early into it. But you want to go raid with me? I'm gonna go raid her. So you want to come along? I'm gonna okay, we're gonna raid Helene because she's awesome. She's really funny, and the raid has been created. Now, where's the tap now to raid? Ready to raid. We're raiding.